Welcome back to Y&R For Life, where we talk about all things Y&R related. We talk about what's going on, my predictions, what I think's going to happen. Hey, we even talk about fashion on the show from time to time because I'm a big time fashion girl, so we got to spill the tea about that. If you're new to this channel, my question is, what took you so long to get here? And if you are returning, what's up? Long time no see. I almost didn't come on this week because, as you can hear, I'm so nasally. I must have got the flu or something from my son. It's just utter insanity. And also, here in Ontario, Canada, it's snowing so drastically. Like, I have this hat on because I went across to my neighbor's house to drop something off there, and I can't remember seeing this much snow in so many years. It would have to have been the 70s. It's so much snow. Oh, I can't get over it. But anyway, this is winter for you here in Canada. I don't know. All right, but this is why I almost didn't make it on. Not about the snow, but just being sick. But I'm just going to see whatever I can come up with this crazy week that we had, which literally went from 0 to 100 in warp speed, like to the point where I'm like, why did this happen? Like, I'm confused. So I'll let you know about that. But again, let's just get through a couple of disclaimers first before we get into all things Y&R. If you don't want to know what's going on, you kind of want to get caught up on your own, this may not be what you want to see or hear, but I am so grateful that you are here. And if I happen to not mention something in particular, it could be because I plumb forgot, or it really just wasn't newsworthy, so I didn't bother mentioning it. It is what it is, nature of the beast. That's what I like to call it. And lastly, if you do like this type of content, you like what you see, you like what you hear, it'd be so kind if you hit that like and subscribe button down below, and also that bell notification so that you don't miss a single video that I post here on Y&R For Life. Okay, let me see what I can recall, because I'm telling you, my brain's fuzzy. And, when you're not feeling that great, things can kind of go somewhere by the wayside. But I think we should get through some of the highlights, if you will. Let's kind of probably do it a little bit different. Let's see where this goes. Okay, so the beginning of the week, we saw Victoria and Billy, the coffee shop. Of course, they have their nice little feel-good moment where Billy's like concerned as to what's going on with Victoria. He's hearing stuff about Newman, although he already knows. But anyway, so Victoria fesses up that Newman is in trouble and that basically it's getting siphoned left, right, and center, and this is all due to Cane and basically Phyllis. This is basically what she comes up with. So, of course, Billy is, trying to be consoling, if you will. But meanwhile, Billy's like, yes. So, Billy is up to his own devices. I can't say that enough. He's like a little wounded, animal, if you will. Everything is woe is me, Billy. But yet, he's just cuckoo crazy. I don't even know at this point. Do I like Billy? He does bring a few little comedic moments, but overall, he's just a sad little soul. Whatever. Again, I don't think him and Sally are going to last. Because, like I say, you can rewrite the story. He's going to do something silly, which you see this week. He pretty much does. Okay. So yes, he was consoling Victoria over this and, wishing her well and hoping that everything works out. Although he knows that he just wants to stick it to Victor. Okay. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I like the whole Newman is in trouble. Because they've been on such a high horse for so many years, it's nice to put a little, stir up a little trouble, double toil and trouble type mix, because it brings Victor down just a few pegs. momentarily. But again, I like that um, scenario. But I don't. It's not gonna last long. I don't believe so. They can't let this. Victor has to come right back up to his pedestal, if you will. So whatever. We'll see how long they go with that. So that was pretty much the Billy and Victoria conversation, um, all about Newman. We saw, again, Billy, staying with Billy and Sally. So Sally, as you recall, she's all PO'd about Billy with, as it pertains to Cane and this whole um, Chancellor acquisition, if you will. I don't know. And she thinks that Billy has come a long way, but he doesn't need to get, thrown to the wolves based on Cane and his potential empty promises. Now, Cane wants to, I guess, do right by Billy by offering him Chancellor and offering it him like free and clear for him to run it as whichever way he pleases, where it would be taken out from Nikki's clutches. Here's the thing. That will only last so long. You know, in my opinion, after Lily comes back, she's just going to put her little doe-eyed look on and it's going to melt Cane's heart and all this is just going to go by the wayside. Just my opinion. But whatever. So Sally's like, look, Billy, this is not good. You know what? You've come so far. I feel like if you are so focused on Chancellor, like this is not a good thing. And you're going to be the loser at the end of the day. Like, no. Remember, we already saw Billy, having a little drinky drink. So what's to stop him from self-destructing yet again? That's the pattern with Billy. He goes so far and then he self-destructs. It's a pattern. This is, even Jack was like, Billy, what are you thinking? Like, this is what you want to do? Nikki has never done anything to you. Why do you want to do this to Nikki? Like, what? And Billy's like, look, I haven't made any decisions. Yes, you have. You knew, Billy, you knew before you even said anything to Cane, you knew that your mind was made up. And screw Sally, screw Jack, everybody, because Billy wants what Billy wants. And so said, so done. Later in the week, we saw him hot and heavy go over to Cane's little neck of the woods, if you will. Phyllis standing there like, excuse me, excuse me? Like, what? We're not making any comments to the press here. He's like, no, this is all personal. It got nothing to do with Abbott Communications. No. And yeah, he basically tells Cane, is that offer? Like, did you get all these different things? Did you acquire? Because I'll take the deal. Well, and of course, Cane's sitting there like, because Cane, he himself is another loose cannon. So you see how the two of them go together? They're not blood brothers, but they act just the same. It's whatever. And now we hear that Jill has taken a turn for the worse. Man, I hope they don't bump off Jill because I like Jess Walton. I like her. For years I wasn't too particular with her, but when she and Catherine had their like mother-daughter, when they thought they were mother and daughter, mind you, it was so nice. It was really nice. So please, writers, don't bump her off or anything like that. We've had enough people getting bumped off lately. So let her stay. But apparently she's taken a turn from the worse. Uncle Snapper, he is the one that has built the beans, if you will, concerning that. So quite frankly, I don't think Billy really cares. Maybe slightly, but he just, here's where Billy's brain is that I need to be compensated for the damage that was done to me, how it was just ripped out from underneath me and I had no say and what have you. Billy, because you can't control yourself. You can't, you're not stable. So this is why you can't handle a multi-billion-dollar company. You don't have the chutzpah. You don't have it. But anyway, moving right along. So of course Sally is sitting back reeling over this, and she basically was like, she just ended up talking to herself about, Billy, I love you, but I don't know how much I can take of this. She even talks to Audra, and she's like, Billy, he's gonna do something that I don't want him to do, and I'm so scared. You're talking to Audra about this? Okay, well, like, they're best friends, but whatever. Audra she's a whole piece of work herself. So yeah, that's pretty much where we end with Billy. We had Sally talking to Cane, mind you, before that whole, I'll take the deal. And Sally had talked to Cane about, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this to Billy? He's come so far. And basically Cane told her, like, do you not want him to move ahead? Like, is there a problem here? Like, I'm just doing him a solid, but yeah, that didn't go over well. You got Phyllis dipsy doodling around the place, and she's all cheesed as to whatever Cane is doing, but I guess behind her back, and she don't like it, and like, they're supposed to be a team. Once again, Phyllis, he is not going to go the long haul with you. It's not going to happen. So I say cut your losses if you can, and just take whatever you can take and just ride on out, sister, because this is not going to go well for you. I'm just putting it out there. Okay, so let's go to Nicholas. Oh, Nicholas. Okay, so Nick, as you know, he had his surgery. He busted himself out of the hospital. This guy's walking around with crutches. He eventually is with a cane. And this guy's in so much agony. He's losing his mind. He is. As you know, he had Matt Clark in the trunk of a car. And basically, Victor had confronted Nick about, let me, Victor, deal with Matt. Nicholas was like, no can do. He's mine. I want to deal with him myself. Meanwhile, crutches. What are you going to do, Nick? Beat him with your crutch? Like, you okay. So, picture this scene. Okay, was it last week? I think it was last week, where he was popping whatever pain medication from the hospital and talking about he needs a refill. So when he was at Sharon's house, this is when he was like, I want to deal with Matt myself. He was like, again, writhing in pain. Sorry, before we get to this particular part, he was in pain. The father, Victor says, I'll deal with him. He's like, Dad, I just want, okay, fine. Just give me 5 minutes alone with this guy. They go scoop him out of the trunk of the car. Nick says some craziness about, this is your jury is, I don't know, something about a jury and your execution, and you're going to have to go before like whomever, and Victor pops out, this is so ominous. He pops out and he's like, basically you have to deal with me. So then they put him in Sharon's place, a trial, if you will. My God. It was so textbook. I was like, honestly. So Noah has a few words with Matt. Sienna has a few words with Matt. Sharon has a few words with Matt. And then Nicholas. So after all is said and done, I mean, to the point where Nick almost like wanted to, I don't even know if it was fisticuffed him, because whatever Matt said, like, you guys, whatever, this is exhausting, whatever. Yeah. So they say take him to the main house or wherever, and yeah, they're off. So of course Nick is all cheesed because he's on, like, I don't know, adrenaline at this point. Victor goes off, exit stage right. So then basically Victor had told Sharon to take him back to the hospital, to take Nick back to the hospital. Listen to Sharon. Sharon was gonna take him back. He ain't going nowhere, nowhere. So she's like, well, fine, you're not going. Well, that's fine. You can stay in the guest room, whatever. He's like, oh, sure, whatever. This guy tells off Sienna about how she had no place to say nothing to nobody. And Sienna's like, well, I was just trying to help. He's like, no, you're not even a part of this family. Oh, this was after Noah's like, you're part of the family. Oh. So he told her off good and proper. So he's like, you know what? I need some air. He goes onto the porch. He's writhing in pain once again. What does Nicholas pop out of his pocket? And I thought to myself, well, no, this is just straight silliness. So he pops out fentanyl out of his pocket. Those are rockets, the candy rockets. I don't care what anybody says. Though it's not even Tums. Those are rockets. So it alludes to the fact that he has popped this fentanyl. Now again, here's where I laugh. Didn't he get that package when he was in LA? Oh wait, wasn't a pink package? This looked like a purplish blue package, come to think of it. Where did he get this fentanyl from? Silly boy. So anyway, it ends up where this guy passes out. Somehow he's back at Sharon's place inside. Sharon wakes up the next day only to find him there. It's like, what? I thought you were in the guest room. Did you stay out here all night? He's like, maybe. I don't know. Because you're doped up, buddy. Meanwhile, back at the main house, we had Victor doing his little boxing. And he's getting prepared for what it seems to go and bump Matt off through boxing. Like, murdering the guy through, like, boxing. Here's my thing. I don't believe he's dead at all. I think, if anything, he's in the dungeon, back where he had Jordan and who was it years ago? Julia, years and years ago. Like, who has a jail cell in their basement? What is this? In the wine cellar? Huh. Okay. So yeah, this is what we are to assume. But I don't believe that the guy's been bumped off. Not by any means. Okay. So now they're playing this whole Nick is going to be a druggie. Like, Nikki's going to play a part in this because of the alcoholism. So, it'll be like, son, you can't be going down the path that I was on. And, this is what's going to happen. Just putting it out there, just saying it. So this is where we're going, is that Nick's going to end up with a drug problem. Mark my words, this is where it is. Okay, we saw a little bit of Chelsea with Nikki and, them. Well, Nikki talking to Chelsea about, good work. Thanks for helping with the family with this crisis. And, basically you've been like a welcome addition to the family. And are you going to move further where Adam is concerned? She's like, well, I don't really want to, push the envelope kind of thing. And I like things where they are right now between Adam and myself. I mean, it's just working out so well. Connor. Why did we need to see any of that? I mean, Adam popped in and was like, what were you and Nikki talking about? Well, your family really likes me. Oh, okay. Whatever. Moving right along. We don't need to talk about Chelsea and Adam, except that Victoria is all cheese because Daddy-O wants Adam in the mix where all this stuff is concerned and basically pushing her off to the side. And so Victoria is like, Nana boo boo to Mummy Dearest over this. Whatever. Let Adam do the Victor's bidding. Just leave it alone, Victoria. You've got bigger fish to fry. You've done what you can do, but let Adam let him sink if anybody. Just putting it out there. We saw Audra with Amy. Amy has grown on me a little bit. I really wish they would do a little bit more with her. But she seems to be like the little voice of reason. So Audra was bumped into her at the coffee house, and it was this whole, I miss you, and they miss one another. They had their little conversation, and even within that conversation, Holden had popped in and was like, oh, I didn't know that you two are talking again. You're friends again? Oh, isn't that nice? Holden, shut up. So yeah, he walks off because Amy's like, we're having a conversation here. Just letting you know. So Audra, she's caught between a rock and a hard place because now Amy's like, what is going on between you and Holden? Like, there's something going on. And even in that, Audra's still telling her fibs. So much so that Amy was like, this is basically a bunch of horse trot, so to speak. She didn't say those words, but that's in essence what she was getting at. And even now, you're still trying to lie to me, trying to pull a fast one. This ain't gonna work. You gotta earn your forgiveness. This is nonsense. As much as I miss you, like, I know this is a bold-faced lie. Bold-faced. So, yeah, we're not doing this. So, Amy, she's out. Amy bumps into, I don't know if she so much as bumps into, or maybe she was preset to meet Nathaniel. And they had a conversation about how she bumped into Audra. They had a conversation. And even in that, Nate, his little soft, fluffy heart, he still has feelings for Audra. And I get it. You love who you love, whatever. He just doesn't know if he can forgive her for, her outright lies. Now, if I was Nathaniel, would I forgive her? No, not really. But that's just me. I'm not in his shoes, right? But I feel and fear that they will get back. Whether it be for a brief, encounter, a situationship, if you will, or get back together for real, who knows? But again, Audra, she's reeling over the fact that the missed opportunity with Nate and how many chances he gave her to make it right, and she didn't do that, and whatever. This is a conversation she's having with Holden at the coffee house, and basically, she tells Holden, look, I don't want no more drama. I'm holding up my end of the bargain. Not to talk about what happened in LA, and you need to hold up the end of the bargain as well. He brings in Claire's name, and she's like, look, we're civil, like, whatever, like, I'm over it. Is she over it? I think actually to a certain degree she is. I mean, I think it would be a waste case to deal with Claire. Speaking of Claire, her and Kyle, they get some Mayday alert that something's going on with Harrison. Sorry. Little Harrison. He ends up plotting a plan, if you will, to have the two of them come together. They do a little quiz, if you will. He's saying it's for school. And within this quiz, it's to see, how well do they know one another and if they have a match based on their answers. They figure it out very quickly that this is not for any school project and that little Harrison, he's trying to pull a fast one. Well, who's trying to pull a fast one here? Because at some point in time, Clara gets a text message from Holden and she tells Kyle it's her mom. Liar. Just putting it out there. So, Claire, once again, I say you know that you still have your feelings for Kyle. Kyle, if you're wise, just let her drift off. Just let her go. Bring Lola back. Just putting it out there. Probably bring Summer back quicker, but yeah, no. Let Claire, let her go. So I think, did we see, well, we saw Daniel really quick. We saw Tessa really quickly, I believe. Nothing to really write home about. The whole Daniel thing was with Phyllis. Really nothing to write home about. It's the same old, same old. But I think the last thing, which is how it went from 0 to 100, that I would talk about is Abby, Devon, the new Dominic, Mariah, and Ian. Which, by the way, I fast forwarded a lot of that Mariah story. I don't care. Now it's just gone all haywire. It's crazy. Okay, so let me set the stage for you. Mariah, again, day late, dollar short. She is just screwy Louie. So she's having her little conversations with Ian, and her brain is out to lunch. Somehow, out of nowhere, all it took was a little boy change where from one Dominic to the next for it to go this far left field. Weird. So she's in her mind, all she's thinking about is, the fact that she's not going to get Tessa back. She'd love to get her back, but she doesn't deserve her. Nobody knows where she is. Nobody can reach her. Nobody cares, Mariah. Nobody. Not even your mother is looking for you, so I'm just saying. But while she's there with a pad of paper, and you assume she's writing her thoughts, like a journal, which I was like, there's no way she could be writing her thoughts. Her mouth is moving a lot quicker than that pen. Well, by the end of her thought process, you see that she's done in bubble letters and with a nice little design, the name Dominic. This is just silly. So her brain is just going on and on about Dominic and when she was pregnant with Bowie, aka Dominic, and how she didn't do it alone, and Abby and Devon were there with her when she was giving birth. Now they've turned Mariah into a stalker. She's out and about taking photos of Dominic with Abby and Devon. Like, what is that? She called Abby's phone at some point in time and didn't say anything. Abby thought, well, maybe it's Dominic, it's one of your friend's parents. Sometimes they get new phones. Maybe I should answer it. Oh, come on. So Dominic and Abby, eventually Devon are at I'm assuming was it the coffee house or no, maybe it was the club, but the patio of the club, having hot chocolate, playing with cars. And yeah, there is Mariah taking photos like she's some detective. And Ian's like, you know what you have to do. They're going to take this spin where she's going to kidnap the child. Spoiler alert for this week coming. They can't find Dominic. And that's the word on the street, is that she's now going to be a kidnapper. I mean, potential murderer. And now kidnapper? Oh, again, I heard something like this was going to happen, but based on the way the week was going, that just came out of left field. I don't know. So why? I'm so frustrated about this. Why are we prolonging this Mariah story? Writers, what are you hoping to prove from this? None of us are interested in this anymore. It did have promise at the get-go, but the amount of times Mariah was like, I did something. I can't tell you. It's so bad. I just can't. The amount of times we heard that, and now this? Oh, do better. Just end this nonsense already. So yeah, that was pretty much the week in a nutshell. Sorry. Yeah, we've got Nick the druggie now, and Mariah the kidnapper, and potentially, who knows if Billy's gonna be an alcoholic again. Like, enough of this. Oh, the one moment that I forgot to mention was Jack had come to see Nikki about, all this turmoil, if you will, and Victor ended up coming home catching Jack and Nikki in an embrace. And I was like, didn't I say that there's potential for Nikki to leave Victor and end up back with Jack? Because Nikki and Jack have history, and they are best friends, if you will. And Diane, watch your man. Watch your man. I'm just saying. Just putting it out there. So that was that. So there you have it, folks. If you stuck around to the end of this video, I'm so grateful. I appreciate your time. I love you lots. I'm sorry I am not well. 'Tis the season. We didn't have snow for Christmas, but then we have snow now. It's like a complete blizzard out there. But whatever. This is Canada, and this is Ontario. So let's hope that this week coming, oh man, I really hope that's going to be much better than what it was. This week just threw me for a loop. So we'll see what happens, and you all have a fantastic week, and I will catch you on the next video.